This video, I want to spend 10 minutes with you to show you that you probably fall into a psychological trap as a trader, and that can harm you a lot. It has to do with the fact that sometimes you think you picked a great company and you don't want to let it go, right? So think about Astera Labs, A-Lab. It was IPO'd in roughly 1 year ago. And if you were fortunate to buy around the IPO at peak, you would have gone 120% up, right? Right now, we are at that price again. So if you're stuck with it, you were at 0% profit right now. And it could be worse. You could have bought it here. If you bought it here thinking it was great, maybe you were stopped very quickly. But if you said, no, this is a great company, I'll stick with it. I'm 15% down, but I'll stick with it. Well, right now, you would be 33% down. So the psychological trap has to do with the fact that sometimes you think you struck gold. Just think about the sheer number of people saying that Palantir and Tesla are the best investments in the world, or HIMS, or think about a popular name, and they may be. Astera Labs may be right now. It's $60. It could be $600 in the future, and that has nothing to do with the fact that right now is a bad investment in my opinion, because it's going down, right? So a good investment is an investment going up. So from here to here, it was a great investment. Right now, it's not a great investment, and some people will be even fooled by one green candle and say, no, it's reverting, right? It was reverting here until it wasn't. So traders are better equipped with tools that prevent them to fall into this psychological trap of sticking with great names. Great names may have a bright future, but if you had 20% of your money around here invested in A-Lab and you stuck with it, you would see your money deteriorating. Like, imagine you bought it here. Very unfortunate, right? You would be down 50%. So you would have lost half of your money. And imagine that money is needed for an emergency in your life, right? So right now, you would be very reluctant to sell it because I lost 50%. On paper, I don't want to make that loss realized. Well, sometimes it's better to realize loss when they're still small than just carry on, right? So that is the psychological trap. And let me show you. If you go to smartcanvas.com, you're going to be able to join a Discord group where I have this indicator that people can use. It provided me an entry here at $68, and then there was a clear sell signal here at 128, and I made 85, 86%, I don't remember. But look, I fell for the trap. Let me show you how. So the stock went down around here, and I said to myself, man, I'll buy it again, because this thing is going up again. It's AI, it's the future. Everything is going up. There's no earnings still, so there's no reason for a lab to fall this much, right? And also, I was like pissed. Why didn't I sell here? But there's no way to detect those tops efficiently. Although there was a double top there, it was an indication that technically this thing could go down much lower. But I was in love with the name, and you are going to be in love with names moving forward. You have to remember that I told you that it's a trap. It's a psychological trap. So then it went up but down, and I was reluctant to sell, and I ended up selling when around here, when it closed below the 50-day moving average, which is exactly the red curve here that my indicator plots, but you can plot yourself. It's just the simple moving average 50-day, right? Usually, when a company closes below the 50-day moving average, not always, it may be a bad sign. Sometimes it bounces back very quickly, and I thought it would bounce back, but I said I don't want to take the risk because I already just erased part of my gains, and I don't want to erase more. And then there was DeepSeek that sunk many companies, including A-Lab. There was this gap down, and we were here. I have to say, I was tempted to buy it again because it's a great name. DeepSeek was deep shit. So maybe I should buy it. I didn't buy it. Why? Because look at this trend, right? This cloud here plotted by my indicator is showing it's not the time to enter. You are below the 50-day. The 8 and the 21 are below and going down. So we need to see this revert back, especially crossing back up the 50-day before we consider re-entering. And look what happened afterwards, right? Has nothing to do with a lab as a business. I'm sure they are a great business. Earnings are showing that. Even the last earnings, 42% surprise on EPS. So there is no reason aside from mean reversion, which is stocks tend to go back to the mean. Look where the mean is. If you calculate the mean of all those prices, probably it's something like this. So it's below mean. It will revert back up, but we don't know when, right? So now it's not the time to enter a stock that is going down like that. And my indicator got me out properly, uses rules that are half standard and half sophisticated, and I fell into the psychological trap and only sold when it goes below the 50-day. I gave up a little bit of my profits, not a little bit, a good amount of my profits, and I should have just stuck with the rules. So that's the lesson. Another way to see it, I have another indicator that will be free for my Discord members, which is the dual cloud MA, and I'll hide price so that you can see it, right? It shows clearly the 8 and the 21 when they are on top of each other in the order 8 and 21. And you see green here, you're basically moving up. It's a health trend. When they flip and they start to trend down, you should be out. Essentially, you should be out. You can give some room for it, and usually the room is given by the second cloud, 121, 100 and 200. But look, you lose a lot of profits because the gap between the two was very high. So you need to have some sort of intermediary line here, and that was the 50-day, right? Sometimes they're not so far. You can allow them to touch, but you see, it didn't touch only, it went through it. And now we don't know if it's going to keep going through it, and this lower cloud is going to roll over and become red, which may lead A-Lab to hit the all-time lows again, right? So simple visualization tools sometimes can tell you that it's not the time to buy a stock. I remember when I bought stocks basically looking at line charts on Robinhood. That was my life as a trader. It's going up, I buy. If it's going down, I sell. If I'm in profit, I take profit. If I'm not in profit, maybe sometimes I made a mistake to hold on too much for too long, and then the losses became really real losses. So this is it. Remember, it's a psychological trap. Do not get attached to names. Do some basic trend analysis, and there are tools out there. If you think that you are too inexperienced to use those tools, I was too. So you learn those things. So join me on Discord. Go to www.smartcanvas.com, and you can be part of this community where we talk about those things. Thank you.